Hey there, I'm Collector B and welcome back to my channel. So today we are out in the wild. We're going to see some manga in a store, and today we're going to go into Barnes& Noble. So let me show you. We are in the parking lot and there is a store there. All right, so let's have some fun and check out what's inside. All right, and as we're walking into Barnes & Noble, I will mention that there's going to be a little mini haul at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that to see what I've picked up after this grand tour of these shelves. Anyway, so now we're inside. This is the manga section in my Barnes & Noble. It's pretty big. It's very impressive, actually. So it's this whole middle section here, including this middle table. And then we'll turn right over here, walk around this corner here. On the left side, you have another wall of manga right here, all on this end. And then we walk to the right, and you'll see the magazines further on the right. And then opposite that here is another wall. And then around the corner is this wall of manga here. So it's fully wrapped around this section right here. So like I said, it's bigger than any other section in other stores that I see. And this middle table here has new volumes and recommendations in the center area, which is really cool to see. It's the local recommendations for Barnes & Noble. And so there's some interesting titles here that I've never heard of. So it's really cool. You can definitely find new and interesting stuff. But anyway, we're going to start in this first section, in this middle section here. And they arrange it by alphabetical order of the title for the manga. So we will start with the A's. And this is Assassination Classroom here. I love these notes. This was like a highlight of the visit. They have recommendations and then they put little funny little notes with the manga that they recommend. And yeah, it's just so good. I was just laughing to myself because it was just so entertaining. I just went around looking at all the little card recommendations because a lot of them are very punny, you know, with puns. And so yeah, it was fun. And if they're not trying to be funny like this one, they're very spot on, like with B-stars. But yeah, so if you saw my a vlog a while ago, my birthday trip, I actually picked up B-stars for $1. I think it was from a library book sale. But here's another one for Blam, I think they pronounce it. But yeah, just it was such a highlight. I loved it. Great job to those employees for these notes here. But here's Blue Exorcist. Yeah, I haven't read this one. I heard good things about it. So if you read this one and you recommend it, let me know if it's worth picking up. And then there's Blue Lock. I mean, it's like teamwork. What's that? Yeah, that one. I heard good things about that one. And then of course, Chainsaw Man. I mean, that one doesn't need an introduction. If you're an anime or manga fan, you know. But Cheeky Brat, I have picked up this one. I don't know if I've talked about it yet, but you'll probably see it in a haul if I haven't already talked about it. I do actually have that volume there. And then moving on, Death Note. These are beautiful volumes. And that one is a very spot-on recommendation note right there for that card for Death Note. Yeah, those volumes, so good. Like, that's the way to own them. They're beautiful additions. So next one, it talks about here Demon Slayer. This is another big title, big shonen title here that you've probably heard about for Demon Slayer. Fire Force, this one. That was a great card for that introduction for Fire Force. But yeah, they have a lot of volumes for this one. I didn't know that it went that far. And then they have omnibuses, which is cool. So if you want to go either way, singles, omnibuses, you have options for that, which is awesome. And then there's Fist of the North Star. These are very beautiful volumes here, hardcovers. I haven't read the series. I might, we'll see. And then there's Fly Me to the Moon. Also very pretty looking volumes here. And here they have Fruits Basket, the collector's edition volumes. I have, if you saw my manga collection tour on my shelf, I own most of the volumes. I don't have the last few of them. Oh, and then they also have here Fruit Basket's another. And then Full Metal Alchemist hardcovers. I've got those. And again, I needed the few final volumes, I think. And they've got those. So many options. Hunter, Hunter. Dad went to get milk. Because of course. Such a very simple summary there. But yeah, so awesome. And yeah, this is Hunter, Hunter's another one. Very big series. And then moving on, we've got so many options. I'm going to keep saying that, but it's so good to see. I mean, you're going to find something that you probably haven't heard of. Honey Lemon Soda. I've heard of it. Haven't read this one, but that one's on my radar. So if I need to move it up on my list, let me know. And then Horimiya. That one I have complete set. That one's a great series. Definitely recommend it. And then Jujutsu Kaisen. Did you see that card? Oh, they're so creative at this Barnes& Noble. I love it. It was just so amusing the entire time. I had a blast, as you can imagine. But yeah, we move on to JoJo's. The beautiful hardcovers here. They had pretty much all of it. Of course, they're missing some in there, but they had wherever you wanted to start in the JoJo's timeline here. Even the newer ones. But yeah, beautiful editions, hardcovers. So those are an awesome way to go if you want to read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. All right, and now we're going to head around the first corner and we reach the L's of the manga titles here on this wall. And so we see Laughing Under the Clouds. I watched the anime of this one and I really liked it. And so there's the manga version I didn't know about. And then there's Zelda. If you watched my birthday vlog that I released, I talked about that first volume in depth. And then they have more Legend of Zelda titles here. They have Les Miserables. Cool. And then this one here, Life Lessons with Uramichi Onisan. They recommend here for you. And then Like a Butterfly. I love Sue Morishita, the mangaka, so that one is one to look forward to. And then Little Witch Academia. I didn't even know that there was a manga for that, so that is cool to know. And then moving on, is it called Living Room? This one, heard great things about it. A romance, and I think with an age gap, I'm thinking maybe. Anyway, let me know if you recommend that one. And then here is an interesting one. There's an omnibus here for Lone Wolf and Cub, Volume 1. I know during the pandemic that was like heavily out of stock and hard to get. So it's interesting to see that back just sitting there on the shelf. And then Love of Kill. I think I pull out a lot of the romance copies here that I see on the shelves, but here's another one. Haven't read it, but it's an action-packed, I heard, with some romance. And then here's another one, Sakura Saka. Just pretty beautiful volume covers on these. Next shelf here, some more romance. This one's Lovesick Ellie. A lot of these titles I may not have read yet, but they, like the titles themselves, sound familiar, so I'm like pulling them out. Maybe to like help myself remember to check these out later on. And look, Made in Abyss, wrapped in plastic because it is definitely more mature content for sure. Right here we have a familiar name, Haruki Murakami. He's a very famous novelist from Japan. He has some manga stories apparently, so that's an interesting find there. A hardcover. And then moving on, we have Mao. This one is an interesting title. I believe they might be the same mangaka that wrote Inuyasha, is it? Or maybe I'm mixing that up, but that's why I pulled that one out. I'm like, Mao, I've heard of that. And then Marmalade Boy. We have here the collector's editions, volumes 1 and 2. So those are different recommendations. And then Mashal, Magic and Muscle. Now there's a big chunk of this manga. I didn't know it was like a big series, but apparently it's 14 volumes at least so far. And then on the next shelf here, we've got some BL titles here, and then some Maximum Ride. And this one here, Mermaid Scales and The Town of Sand. I thought that was a really pretty cover. Here's a great series, Mob Psycho 100, one of my favorites. And here is beautiful volumes of Mobile Suit Gundam, The Origin. These are like spectacular hardcovers. They're stunning, aren't they? And then they have one random volume here of Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt. Here we have Monster, a very great series. They have here the first volume and then the later volumes here. And then moving on, My Dress Up Darling, spot on recommendation card here for a great series. Wrapped up in plastic, at least some of them are. For this next series here, My Love Mix-Up, I found this card very interesting. I'm sure it makes sense probably when you read it, but it looks very complicated as the title name implies. Yeah, another romance here. And then look at this one. I was so happy. This one is one of my favorites. This is actually a side story of the main series of My Next Life as a Villainess. Haven't read the side stories yet, but the main series I love so very much. Love Katarina as the main character, the female lead here. Just so entertaining. I fly through these volumes here. And then in this next section, we come to number 6, Omnibus. I haven't heard of this one, I don't think, but they have the omnibuses here, and they're looking good. And then we have No Guns Life. I have heard of this one, and the art looks really nice on that. Noragami. They don't have a volume 1, but there's some volume 2s. And the series is really long, right? And look at this card. I love it. Love, love, love it. It's really long. I don't even know. Is it ongoing? Because they have up to volume 25 here. And then omnibuses, which is good to see. Different options for you. And next I spotted One Piece. One of my favorites of all time. And here's the omnibuses, and then after that we see the singles. But look at this. Someone wrote greatest story ever told underneath the actual employees. Little comment there. But yeah, so I think I want to get the singles like in the box sets later on. Just for now, I just went with the omnibuses when I was starting to collect One Piece because it was basically for saving space. But look, a coloring book. That's cool. I hadn't seen that before. And then a One Punch Man card. Perfectly summarized right there for that. Another great series. Loved the anime. And probably will get into the manga at some point. And here is a sadder tale, orange. And next we turn the corner and we're here at the back section wall of the manga area. We see Overlord, and what is this one? Pandora 7, Parasite. I'm collecting this series. So far, I've got the first 4 volumes, I believe. Great horror series. Beautiful editions, full color. And I love the spine going darker and darker in shade. Here's the single, original singles version. And then I spotted one of my favorites that I own. I have this one, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. This first volume here that I'm touching. And I also have the second volume, which is Rascal Does Not Dream of Petite Devil Kohai. And I spotted the third there. So wink wink for what haul things I'm going to have at the end. But moving on, Record of Ragnarok. This one has a lot in this series in terms of volumes. I haven't read it, but I've heard of it. And then we have Saint Young Men. Awesome recommendation there. It is not in the right spot. I moved it over to put it right where it belongs. Yeah, definitely another spot on recommendation here for Saint Young Men hardcovers. Oh, and look at this one. This one is a stunning volume here. It looks like it's the first in an ongoing series probably, but the drawings themselves so beautiful. If you see the mangaka's name, it might make sense. But look at this stunning drawings. As the title suggests, scribbles. It's a lot of the artwork. Beautiful. And then Spy Family. This one I'm sure many of you are aware of. It's a very popular series for good reason. And there are a lot of volumes now in the series. And then we're here. We've turned the corner again. We're on this last section wall here on the back side. I see Sweat and Soap. I've read this entire series. I don't have it physically in physical copies on my collection, but it's a great romance series. And then we see Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re. Look at this one. You're not you when you're hungry. And then moving on, we see here Tokyo Revengers. These omnibuses here. I didn't realize how many there are in this series so far. It's a lot. There's a lot of omnibus volumes. And then I spotted this volume here, kind of random, but actually looks very cool. It's called Tokyo These Days. And then look at this one. I am so excited to get into this one. I've been recommended it, and it sounds so good. So up my alley, ready to dive into it. And then look at here, Tokyo Twin Star Exorcist. This one has so many in the series. I'm starting it soon. I forgot to mention earlier, but they have a lot of manga box sets on the top of the shelves areas. So that's another way you can go about collecting these series if you know you want the full set right away. But yeah, that's another option. So that's great that you have lots of ways to collect these. And next we come to The Way of the House Husband, or as this person puts it, the perfect man. And yeah, this one I've definitely heard of. They even have a Netflix series of it. And then we're coming near the end of the manga. We're at the Y's and the Z's. So of course we see Yu-Gi-Oh here, and they have an omnibus, so that's good to know. Definitely if you want to collect it, there's the omnibus version. They have Yu Yu Hakusho. I have this one. If you saw one of my manga hauls, you would have seen me complete the series. I've got it in all of its entirety. Very happy. And then the Z, Zom 100. I have not read this one, but it looks very colorful and fun. And then they also have a light novel section. So this one's opposite where we just were. But yeah, they have this whole section right here of light novels for you to choose from as well if you want to go that route. But yeah, so that's where we were right here, looking at the last letters of the alphabet. And then here is just a sneak peek of the light novels that they carry. I just did a shelf here to look at. But these are the light novels. And then there we have it. We've seen this whole section here. We started here in the middle, looking at this middle area section. And then we turned the corner and even more manga, which is so awesome. I love that they have such a wide selection of manga here. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could spend hours here if you wanted, just looking at all the manga options that they have here. But yeah, full tour that we took going around this entire area. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it, because I know I did. I had a blast. And then here they also have some collectibles, some figures, toys, board game, even if you want the Naruto clue game, more box sets like I mentioned before, on the top sections of the bookshelves here, which is super awesome if you want to just get that full box set. And the best part, at the cashier, they also had figures, anime figures. So if you want to pause that and look, that's what they carried. So behind the cashier, there was more. All right, back in the car now, and that was such a fun time. They have so much manga in Barnes & Noble. It's probably the best selection in terms of physical bookstores or stores that you can go to purchase manga. Like in my last video, shopping video, we had gone to Target, and they have such a small selection. They really whittled it down to just a few popular stuff, and like maybe one or two bookcase kind of shelves for their manga. But Barnes & Noble is a whole different ball game. They are probably the creme de la creme, at least in my immediate area, and probably for a lot of you as well. They have the best options, the most variety of things. So many titles that I saw in there I had never heard about, which is really awesome because you always want more options. There's always new things coming out, of course. And so it was just I spent hours in there. Of course, I've edited it down for this video, but I spent hours just browsing the shelves and seeing so many cool titles. Of course, a lot of big names and plenty of small names that I hadn't personally heard of. So it was just so much fun. I love the little cards that the staff have put around for their recommended titles. A lot of them were hilarious. I was just like smiling to myself reading each one of them. It was just, yeah, it was such a good time. They're funny, creative. So yeah, definitely thanks to the staff for those, because it made me giggle and laugh just seeing their summaries for the popular titles that they recommend. So that was awesome. I love that. And of course I've got some. They only had little bags, so I've got two. It probably looks more than it is, but here, let me do a little haul real quick. Okay, so first one is the Spy Family. This is volume 8. I have 1 through 7 so far. If you check my manga collection, a recent video, you'll see what I've had so far, but here is continuing on. We've got volume 8 of Spy Family. Such a good title. Good time here. So that one's that. And then next one we've got, this one was a cute one. It's called How I Met My Soulmate. So look at that, how cute. The summary just sounded really nice. It seems like they're older young adults. I believe the main female in this one is 20 years old, it sounds like, and she has one wish when she moves to Tokyo is to find her soulmate. So it's great that it's not high school students, which is a typical thing. It is a bit older, so that one sounded really nice. So it's volume 1 of How I Met My Soulmate. Fun. All right, next one here. We've got volumes 2 and 3 of My Happy Marriage. Yay for these. Loving the series. I keep talking about the Netflix anime. It's such a beautiful show, amazing visuals. So here is the manga form. I've got volume 1 already, so here's 1 and 2. And then the last one, yeah, I did get a bookmark, which I thought was really pretty. It has this beautiful blue bead here, the tassel, and then in the leaves of the autumn trees, it has a bit of gold speckling on it, so it makes it really pretty. Yeah. I'll take that out afterwards of this plastic part. But yeah, I thought that was really pretty. So I got that. And then the very last thing I got this time was volume 3 of Rascal Does Not Dream of Logical Witch. So I've got the first 2, and they're much thicker volumes of these. But yeah, it's really pretty series. Bit of romance and a bit of like surrealism as well. Magical realism. Yeah, I thought that was really pretty, and I was excited for this one. These seem to be releases that take more time to come out, maybe because they're thicker volumes, but yeah, so this is a fun one. Yeah, so I thought this was really fun. So excited for this pile here. So here's the latest haul. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me, for checking out the manga at Barnes&Noble. Yeah, I love doing these. It is a little bit awkward in the stores because there's so many people around, so I have to maneuver my way and not get in anyone else's way and still get everything. So hope you enjoyed, hope you had fun. I know I did. It was so much fun just going shopping for books. So if you have any recommendations for things I should check out next, or any other places I should go to for manga and that kind of thing, let me know. I want to hear all your thoughts in the comments. So much fun always to check out what you guys have to say and just to interact with you guys and build this community. So I'm so happy you are here. You are awesome. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Lets me know that you enjoyed it and that you want to see more of these. And also, if you want to stick around, please consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any more fun content. All right, see you next time. Bye.